This course introduces the foundational concepts of cybersecurity. It is designed for beginners who want to learn how to protect themselves and their organizations from common cyber threats. You'll learn about the basics of cybersecurity, common threats, best practices for protecting your personal and professional data, and the critical importance of cybersecurity in today's digital world. Welcome to this Cybersecurity for Beginners course. In this course, we will take you through the essential concepts, tools, and practices you need to protect your data and devices from cyber threats. Whether you're a student, professional, or just someone who uses the internet every day, this course is designed to give you the knowledge to defend yourself online. Here's what you'll learn throughout the course. 1. What cybersecurity is and why it's important. 2. The most common cyber threats. 3. How to create strong defenses against cyber attacks. 4. Basic security protocols and tools to use at home or at work. By the end of this course, you'll have the confidence to identify, prevent, and respond to cyber threats. Module 1. What is cybersecurity? Lesson 1.1. Understanding cybersecurity basics. 1. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks. 2. Importance of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, CIA Triad, in cybersecurity. 3. Examples of where cybersecurity applies in daily life and business. Lesson 1.2. History of cybersecurity. 1. Early days of hacking and its evolution. 2. Famous historical cyber attacks, Morris worm, Melissa virus, etc. 3. How the field of cybersecurity grew in response to increased threats. Module 2. Common cyber threats. Lesson 2.1. Malware. 1. Malware is malicious software designed to damage or gain unauthorized access to systems. 2. Types of malware: viruses, trojans, worms, ransomware, spyware. 3. Real-life examples of malware attacks, for example, WannaCry, Petya. Lesson 2.2. Phishing. 1. Phishing is a technique used to trick people into sharing sensitive information like passwords. 2. Email phishing, spear phishing, and vishing, voice phishing, tactics. 3. How to spot phishing attempts and avoid them. Lesson 2.3. Ransomware and social engineering. 1. Ransomware is malware that locks your data and demands payment to unlock it. 2. Social engineering is a method where attackers manipulate people into giving up confidential information. 3. Real-world examples and defenses against these attacks. Module 3. Best practices for cybersecurity. Lesson 3.1. Password security and two-factor authentication. 1. Importance of using strong and unique passwords for every account. 2. How to create a strong password, length, complexity, and randomness. 3. Use of password managers to manage multiple passwords securely. 4. Two-factor authentication, 2FA, and why it adds an extra layer of security. Lesson 3.2. Software updates and patch management. 1. The importance of regularly updating your software and systems. 2. What is patch management and how it helps to fix vulnerabilities. 3. How outdated software can be exploited by hackers. Lesson 3.3. Secure browsing and avoiding suspicious links. 1. How to identify secure websites, HTTPS versus HTTP. 2. How to avoid suspicious links and malicious websites. 3. Safe browsing practices when using public Wi-Fi and shared networks. Module 4. Cybersecurity tools and solutions. Lesson 4.1. Firewalls and antivirus software. 1. What are firewalls, and how do they protect your network? 2. Different types of firewalls, hardware-based and software-based. 3. The role of antivirus software in detecting and removing malware. Lesson 4.2. Encryption. 1. What is encryption, and why is it critical for securing data? 2. How encryption works in email, websites, and communications, SSL/TLS. 3. Real-world examples of encryption in action. Lesson 4.3. Backups and data recovery. 1. Importance of regularly backing up your important files and data. 2. How to implement an effective backup strategy, local backups versus cloud backups. 3. What to do if you experience a ransomware attack or data loss. Module 5, Protecting Personal Information Online. Lesson 5.1, Social Media Security. 1. Risks associated with oversharing personal information on social media. 2. How to secure your social media accounts and reduce exposure to cybercriminals. 3. Adjusting privacy settings and avoiding scams on social platforms. Lesson 5.2, Online Shopping and Financial Security. 1. How to identify secure online shopping websites. 2. Avoiding phishing websites and ensuring your financial information is safe. 3. Best practices for making online transactions securely. Module 6, Cybersecurity Awareness and Careers. Lesson 6.1, Cybersecurity Awareness in the Workplace. 1. Importance of cybersecurity training for employees. 2. Creating a cybersecurity policy for organizations to follow. 3. Examples of workplace cybersecurity practices, for example, device management, secure communication. Lesson 6.2, Careers in Cybersecurity. 1. Overview of different roles in the field of cybersecurity: analysts, penetration testers, security engineers, consultants. 2. How to start a career in cybersecurity, learning paths, certifications, and skills needed. That's all about the table of contents for this cybersecurity course for beginners. Cybersecurity isn't just for professionals, everyone needs to be aware of how to stay safe online. Don't forget to review the materials, take the quiz at the end of the module, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. So in the next video we will start from Module 1 and I will meet you in the next lecture. Module 1, What is cybersecurity? Welcome to Module 1 of our Cybersecurity for Beginners course. In this module, we'll explore the fundamentals of cybersecurity, what it is, why it matters, and how it applies to both individuals and businesses. By the end of this module, you'll have a solid understanding of the core principles of cybersecurity and the critical role it plays in protecting digital systems and data. Let's dive in. So, what exactly is cybersecurity? In simple terms, cybersecurity refers to the practice of defending computers, servers, mobile devices, electronic systems, networks, and data from malicious attacks. This is also known as information technology security or IT security. Cybersecurity is essential because today, we live in a world where most of our personal and professional data is stored and processed digitally. Whether it's your banking details, health records, or company information, these are valuable assets that hackers and cybercriminals are constantly trying to steal or compromise. At its core, cybersecurity is built on three key principles, often referred to as the CIA Triad. 1. Confidentiality, protecting data from unauthorized access. 2. Integrity, ensuring data remains accurate and unaltered. 3. Availability, making sure data is accessible when needed. These three principles are what cybersecurity professionals focus on every day. But why is this so important in our world today? Let's look at how cybersecurity has evolved over time. The history of cybersecurity is deeply tied to the history of computers and the internet. As soon as we began connecting computers and sharing data, the need for protecting that data became crucial. Here's a quick look at the evolution of cybersecurity. The concept of cybersecurity began in the early days of computing when organizations started using large mainframes. Security was primarily physical, ensuring only authorized personnel had access to the computer room. By the 1980s, computer viruses began emerging. The Morris worm, one of the first large-scale cyber attacks, was released in 1988. It infected around 10% of the computers connected to the internet, highlighting the need for better security measures. The rapid growth of the internet in the 1990s opened up new avenues for hackers. As people began conducting business online, hackers saw opportunities to exploit security vulnerabilities. Notable incidents, like the Melissa virus and Love bug virus, caused millions of dollars in damages globally. In the 2000s, cybercrime became more organized. Phishing scams, ransomware attacks, and identity theft became common. Hackers were no longer just individuals but part of larger, organized criminal groups looking to profit from stolen data. Today, cybersecurity is at the forefront of national security concerns. Governments, businesses, and individuals alike are targets of sophisticated cyber attacks. We've seen state-sponsored hacking, advanced persistent threats, APTs, and attacks on critical infrastructure. As technology advances, so do the methods used by cybercriminals. Lesson 1.3, Why cybersecurity is important. So, Why is cybersecurity so important? To put it simply, cyber attacks are more frequent and more dangerous than ever before. According to studies, cyber attacks occur every 39 seconds, and they cost the global economy $6 trillion annually. Data breaches expose sensitive information, disrupt business operations, and cause severe financial damage. Let's break down why cybersecurity matters to different groups. For the average person, cybersecurity is about protecting your personal information, such as passwords, banking details, and private messages. A compromised account could lead to identity theft, fraud, or even financial ruin. For companies, cybersecurity is vital to safeguard intellectual property, customer data, and business operations. A cyber attack could shut down operations, cause financial losses, and harm a company's reputation. Governments, at the national level, cybersecurity is about protecting critical infrastructure, government databases, and national security. Cyber warfare is now a major concern for governments worldwide. Cybersecurity is not just an option, it's a necessity for everyone, from individuals to global organizations. Now that we know why cybersecurity is so critical, let's move on to the main types of cyber threats. To sum up Module 1, we've learned what cybersecurity is, how it has evolved over time, and why it's more important now than ever before. In the next module, we'll dive deeper into the most common types of cyber threats, like malware, phishing, and ransomware, and how they can affect you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in Module 2. Cybersecurity for Beginners Module 2, Common Cyber Threats. Welcome back. In Module 1, we covered the basics of cybersecurity, what it is, why it's important, and how it has evolved. Now, it's time to dive into the threats that make cybersecurity so essential. In Module 2, we'll explore some of the most common cyber threats, including malware, phishing, and social engineering attacks. By the end of this module, you'll be able to recognize these threats and understand how they operate, so you can better protect yourself and your organization from potential attacks. Let's get started. Lesson 2.1, Malware. One of the most common and dangerous threats in cybersecurity is malware. But what exactly is malware? Malware, short for malicious software, refers to any program or file designed to harm a computer, network, or user. Malware comes in many different forms, each with its own method of causing damage. Let's look at some of the most common types of malware. 1. Viruses. A virus attaches itself to a clean file and spreads through a computer system. Once activated, it can delete files, corrupt data, or even damage the hardware. Viruses usually spread through infected attachments, file downloads, or by exploiting software vulnerabilities. 2. Worms. Unlike a virus, a worm can spread without attaching itself to another program. It replicates itself across networks and systems, often consuming bandwidth and overwhelming systems. The Morris worm in 1988 was one of the first worms that highlighted the importance of network security. 3. Trojans. A Trojan disguises itself as legitimate software but carries hidden malicious functions. When users download or install it, it can create backdoors, steal data, or give hackers remote control over the system. The infamous Zeus Trojan was responsible for stealing millions of dollars from banking systems. 4. Ransomware. Ransomware encrypts a victim's files and demands payment in exchange for the decryption key. Until the ransom is paid, users are locked out of their own data. Attacks like WannaCry and Petya are famous examples of ransomware, targeting businesses, hospitals, and governments. 5. Spyware. Spyware is designed to secretly gather information from your device, often without your knowledge. It can track your online activity, steal passwords, and monitor sensitive information. Spyware is often distributed through free software or malicious websites. These are just a few examples of malware, but the damage they cause can be devastating. Malware can infect your system through email attachments, malicious downloads, or compromised websites. Once it's inside, it can steal data, disrupt operations, or even take control of your system. The best defense against malware is antivirus software, regular system updates, and using caution when downloading files or clicking on unknown links. We'll cover more defense strategies in a later module, but for now, let's move on to our next threat, phishing. Lesson 2.2, Phishing. Phishing is one of the most common tactics used by cybercriminals to steal sensitive information. It involves tricking people into sharing personal information, like passwords or credit card numbers, by pretending to be a legitimate entity, such as a bank or a well-known company. Let's explore the different forms of phishing. 1. Email phishing. The most common form of phishing is email phishing. Attackers send emails that appear to come from trusted sources, like your bank or an online service. These emails often contain urgent messages, such as your account has been compromised or you need to update your password. The email will include a link to a fake website designed to steal your login credentials. 2. Spear phishing. Spear phishing is a more targeted form of phishing. Instead of sending generic emails to a large group, attackers target specific individuals or companies, often using personal information to make the attack more convincing. For example, a hacker might impersonate your CEO and ask for sensitive company information. 3. Vishing and smishing. Vishing, voice phishing, involves attackers calling you and pretending to be from a legitimate organization, like your bank, and asking for your personal information. Smishing is similar but uses SMS text messages to lure victims into clicking a malicious link or sharing sensitive data. Phishing attacks can be highly convincing, but there are red flags you can watch out for. Suspicious email addresses, poor grammar, unusual requests, and urgent messages are often signs of a phishing attempt. To protect yourself, never click on links in suspicious emails or messages, and always verify the sender before sharing any personal information. Let's now move on to another type of attack that often goes hand in hand with phishing: social engineering. Lesson 2.3, Ransomware and Social Engineering. Social engineering is a technique used by cybercriminals to manipulate people into giving up confidential information or access to systems. It's not about breaking into systems through code but through human manipulation. Let's discuss a few common types of social engineering attacks. 1. Pretexting. In pretexting, the attacker creates a fabricated scenario to gain access to private information. For example, they may pretend to be someone in authority, like an IT administrator, and convince an employee to share their login credentials. 2. Baiting. Baiting involves luring victims into a trap. For instance, attackers may leave a USB drive labeled confidential in a public place. When someone picks it up and plugs it into their computer, it installs malware. 3. Quid pro quo. In a quid pro quo attack, the attacker offers something in exchange for information or access. For example, they might offer free technical support, but in exchange, they ask for your password or remote access to your computer. Social engineering attacks rely on trust, curiosity, and human error. Attackers exploit the natural tendency of people to trust others and help out when asked. The best defense against social engineering is to stay cautious. Be skeptical of unsolicited requests for information, always verify the identity of the person you're dealing with, and never share sensitive data without confirming who is asking for. In Module 2, we've covered some of the most common cyber threats: malware, phishing, and social engineering. Understanding these threats is the first step in protecting yourself from cyber attacks. Remember, malware can spread through infected files, websites, or software. Phishing attacks aim to steal your personal information through deceptive emails or messages. Social engineering exploits human behavior to gain access to sensitive data. In the next module, we'll look at the best practices and tools you can use to defend against these threats and safeguard your systems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Module 3. Module 3, Best Practices for Cybersecurity. Welcome back. In Module 2, we explored the most common cyber threats, including malware, phishing, and social engineering. Now that you understand the risks, it's time to learn how to defend yourself. In Module 3, we'll discuss best practices for cybersecurity, the habits, tools, and strategies you can use to protect your data, devices, and networks from cyber attacks. Whether you're an individual, a small business, or part of a large organization, these practices are essential for staying safe in today's digital world. Let's get started. Lesson 3.1, Securing your devices and accounts. The first line of defense in cybersecurity starts with securing your devices and online accounts. Let's break this down into 3 critical practices: strong passwords, multi-factor authentication, and device encryption. 1. Use strong, unique passwords. One of the simplest but most effective ways to protect your accounts is by using strong, unique passwords for each one. Here's how to create a secure password. Use a combination of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Make your password at least 12 characters long. Avoid using easily guessed information like birthdays or names. Use a password manager to generate and store complex passwords securely. Using the same password for multiple accounts is risky because if one account is compromised, all your other accounts become vulnerable too. 2. Enable multi-factor authentication. MFA multi-factor authentication, MFA, adds an extra layer of security to your accounts by requiring 2 or more forms of identification before granting access. For example, you might need to enter your password and a one-time code sent to your phone. MFA significantly reduces the risk of unauthorized access, even if your password is compromised. Whenever available, make sure to enable MFA on your accounts, especially for email, banking, and social media. 3. Encrypt your devices. Encryption is a way to protect the data stored on your devices by converting it into unreadable code. If someone steals your device, they won't be able to access your data without the encryption key. Most modern operating systems, such as Windows and Mac OS, have built-in encryption tools like BitLocker and FileVault. Be sure to enable encryption on your computer, smartphone, and external storage devices to keep your data secure. Lesson 3.2, Protecting your network. Now that we've secured your devices, let's focus on securing your home or office network. Cybercriminals often target networks to gain unauthorized access to your devices or intercept your data. Here's how you can protect your network. 1. Secure your Wi-Fi router. Your Wi-Fi router is the gateway to your home network, so it's critical to secure it. Here's what you should do. Change the default admin username and password. Most routers come with generic credentials, making them easy targets for hackers. Use WPA3 encryption if your router supports it, or WPA2 as a fallback. This ensures your data is encrypted while traveling over your Wi-Fi network. Disable remote management features unless you really need them. This prevents hackers from accessing your router remotely. Regularly update your router's firmware to patch security vulnerabilities. 2. Set up a guest network. If you have visitors or family members connecting to your Wi-Fi, it's a good idea to set up a guest network. This isolates your main network from external devices, reducing the chances of malware spreading from an infected device to your own. 3. Use a VPN for secure connections whenever you connect to public Wi-Fi, whether in a cafe, airport, or hotel. You should use a virtual private network, VPN. A VPN encrypts your internet connection, making it difficult for hackers to intercept your data. Even when using your home network, a VPN adds an extra layer of privacy by masking your IP address and encrypting all your traffic. Lesson 3.3, Keeping software up to date. Cybercriminals often exploit vulnerabilities in outdated software to launch attacks. That's why it's crucial to keep all your software up to date. 1. Install software updates regularly. Software developers frequently release security patches to fix bugs and vulnerabilities in their programs. Failing to install these updates leaves your system exposed to attacks. To avoid forgetting updates, enable automatic updates on your operating system, web browser, and any applications you use frequently. 2. Update third-party software. In addition to updating your operating system, don't forget about third-party software like Adobe Reader, Zoom, or your antivirus program. These tools are often targets for cyber attacks, so it's critical to keep them up to date as well. Lesson 3.4, Recognizing phishing and social engineering attacks. As we learned in Module 2, phishing and social engineering are some of the most common methods attackers use to trick you into sharing sensitive information. Let's go over a few tips to help you recognize and avoid these attacks. 1. Spot phishing emails. Phishing emails often look like they're from legitimate companies, but there are a few telltale signs that give them away. Look for spelling or grammatical errors. Professional companies rarely make these kinds of mistakes. Check the sender's email address, hover over it to see if it matches the company's official domain. Be cautious of urgent messages asking you to act now or click this link to avoid losing access to your account. Legitimate companies will never rush you to provide sensitive information. 2. Stay skeptical of unsolicited requests. If someone contacts you out of the blue asking for sensitive information, like your password or credit card details, be suspicious. Whether it's a phone call, text message, or email, always verify the identity of the person contacting you. For example, if someone claims to be from your bank or IT department, hang up and call the official number to confirm the request is legitimate. Module conclusion. To wrap up Module 3, we've covered a range of best practices that you can use to secure your devices, accounts, and networks. Let's recap some of the most important points. Use strong passwords and enable multi-factor authentication to protect your accounts. Secure your Wi-Fi network by changing default settings and using encryption. Keep your software up to date to patch vulnerabilities. Be cautious of phishing and social engineering tactics, and always verify requests for sensitive information. Cybersecurity is about building good habits and staying aware of potential risks. In the next module, we'll dive deeper into the tools you can use to enhance your cybersecurity defenses, including firewalls, antivirus software, and intrusion detection systems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Module 4. Module 4, Cybersecurity Tools and Technologies. Welcome to Module 4 of our Cybersecurity for Beginners course. In the previous module, we covered best practices for securing your accounts, devices, and networks. Now, we're going to explore the tools and technologies that can enhance your cybersecurity defenses. In this module, you'll learn about firewalls, antivirus software, intrusion detection systems, IDS, virtual private networks, VPNs, and more. These tools will help you build a stronger defense against cyber threats and protect your digital assets. Lesson 4.1: Firewalls, the first line of defense. The firewall is often considered the first line of defense in cybersecurity. It acts as a barrier between your internal network and the outside world, controlling the flow of traffic based on a set of security rules. Let's break this down. 1. What is a firewall? A firewall can be either hardware or software based and is designed to filter incoming and outgoing network traffic. It allows or blocks data packets based on predefined security policies. 1. Hardware firewalls. These are physical devices typically used in larger networks to protect multiple systems. 2. Software firewalls. Installed on individual devices, these protect the specific computer or mobile device by managing its internet traffic. 2. How firewalls work. Firewalls inspect data packets passing through them. They check source and destination IP addresses, port numbers and protocols. Based on pre-configured rules, firewalls can either allow the packet to pass through or block it. For example, a firewall might block traffic from known malicious IP addresses or restrict access to certain websites. 3. Types of firewalls. There are different types of firewalls, including 1. Packet filtering firewalls. These are the most basic and filter packets based on source/destination IP addresses and ports. 2. Stateful firewalls. These track the state of active connections and make decisions based on the context of the traffic. 3. Proxy firewalls. These act as intermediaries between the user and the internet, inspecting traffic at the application level. Firewalls are essential for both individual users and businesses. By setting the right rules, you can block many forms of cyber attacks before they reach your system. Lesson 4.2: Antivirus and Anti-Malware Software. Next, let's talk about antivirus and anti-malware software, which are key tools in detecting and removing malicious programs from your devices. 1. What is antivirus software? Antivirus software is designed to detect, prevent, and remove malware. Malware can come in various forms: viruses, worms, Trojans, ransomware, and an antivirus program helps protect your system from these threats. Antivirus software works by 1. Scanning your files and system for known signatures of malware. 2. Heuristically analyzing the behavior of programs to detect new, unknown threats. 3. Quarantining or deleting any malware it finds. 2. Features of antivirus software. Some of the key features include: 1. Real-time protection. Actively scans and blocks malicious files as they try to enter your system. 2. Scheduled scans. Regularly checks your system for threats at set intervals. 3. Automatic updates. Ensures your antivirus database stays up to date with the latest threat signatures. While antivirus software is critical for your security, it's important to understand that it should be part of a larger security strategy, not your only line of defense. Lesson 4.3, Intrusion Detection and Prevention Systems, IDS/IPS. An intrusion detection system, IDS, and intrusion prevention system, IPS, are tools that monitor your network or system for suspicious activity. 1. What is an IDS? An IDS is a tool that monitors network or system activity for malicious actions or policy violations. It does not block traffic but rather alerts the system administrator if something suspicious is detected. 1. Signature-based IDS. This type relies on known patterns of attack, or signatures, to identify malicious traffic. 2. Anomaly-based IDS. This type uses a baseline of normal behavior and flags any traffic that deviates from it. 2. What is an IPS? An IPS goes a step further by not only detecting threats but also preventing them. If it identifies malicious traffic, it can automatically block or reject the traffic before it reaches the target system. IDS and IPS are commonly used in businesses and organizations to monitor and protect their networks from advanced threats. For individual users, a firewall and antivirus software often provide sufficient protection. Lesson 4.4, Virtual Private Networks, VPNs. A virtual private network, VPN, is a tool that encrypts your internet connection and hides your IP address, providing enhanced privacy and security when browsing online. 1. How VPNs work. When you use a VPN, your internet traffic is routed through a remote server operated by the VPN provider. This means your real IP address is hidden, and your data is encrypted, making it difficult for hackers, ISPs, or even governments to track your online activities. 2. Benefits of using a VPN. 1. Enhanced security. VPNs encrypt your data, making it harder for cybercriminals to intercept. 2. Increased privacy. Since your IP address is masked, websites and services cannot easily track your location or identity. 3. Access to restricted content. VPNs allow you to bypass geographic restrictions and access content that may be blocked in your region. While VPNs are a powerful tool for privacy and security, it's important to choose a reputable provider. Some free VPNs may log your data or provide weaker encryption, so do your research before selecting one. Lesson 4.5, Password Managers and Authentication Tools. We've already talked about the importance of using strong, unique passwords in Module 3, but keeping track of multiple complex passwords can be challenging. That's where password managers come in. 1. What is a password manager? A password manager is a tool that securely stores all of your passwords in an encrypted vault. It can automatically generate strong, random passwords for you and fill them in when you need to log into your accounts. By using a password manager, you don't have to remember every password you create. You only need to remember one strong master password to access the vault. 2. Authentication tools. In addition to password managers, authentication tools like multi-factor authentication, MFA, apps provide an extra layer of security. These tools generate one-time codes that you need to enter alongside your password to access your account. MFA is especially important for sensitive accounts like banking or email, as it makes it much harder for attackers to gain access even if they know your password. Module conclusion. That brings us to the end of Module 4. Let's quickly recap the key tools and technologies we've discussed. 1. Firewalls protect your network by filtering incoming and outgoing traffic. 2. Antivirus software helps detect and remove malware from your devices. 3. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDS/IPS, monitor network traffic for suspicious activities. 4. VPNs encrypt your internet connection and enhance your privacy online. 5. Password managers store your passwords securely and generate strong passwords for you. These tools are essential in building a comprehensive cybersecurity defense. In the next module, we'll discuss how to implement a cybersecurity policy, a formal set of guidelines to protect yourself or your organization from cyber threats. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Module 5. Module 5, Creating a Cybersecurity Policy. Welcome to Module 5 of our Cybersecurity for Beginners course. In this module, we're going to discuss a crucial aspect of cybersecurity, creating a cybersecurity policy. A cybersecurity policy outlines an organization's security measures and expectations, ensuring that everyone understands their role in protecting sensitive information. Whether you're a small business owner, part of an IT team, or an individual looking to protect your personal data, having a well-defined cybersecurity policy is essential. By the end of this module, you'll know how to develop a comprehensive cybersecurity policy tailored to your needs. Let's get started. Lesson 5.1, Understanding the importance of a cybersecurity policy. Before we dive into the specifics of creating a cybersecurity policy, let's discuss why it's so important. 1. Establishes security standards. The cybersecurity policy provides clear guidelines on how to protect sensitive information, setting the standard for security practices within your organization or for personal use. 2. Reduces risks and vulnerabilities by identifying potential threats and outlining how to mitigate them. A cybersecurity policy helps reduce the risks and vulnerabilities that could lead to data breaches or cyber attacks. 3. Ensures compliance. Many industries are subject to regulations regarding data protection. A well-crafted policy ensures that you comply with relevant laws and regulations, reducing the risk of legal consequences. 4. Promotes a security culture. A cybersecurity policy fosters a culture of security awareness among employees or users. It educates them on best practices, helping to prevent human errors that could compromise security. 5. Facilitates incident response in the event of a cyber incident. A cybersecurity policy provides a roadmap for how to respond effectively, minimizing damage and recovering more quickly. Having a cybersecurity policy is not just a best practice, it's a necessity for any organization or individual serious about protecting their digital assets. Lesson 5.2, Key components of a cybersecurity policy. Now that we understand the importance of a cybersecurity policy, let's look at the key components that should be included in your policy. 1. Purpose and scope. Begin by defining the purpose of the policy and its scope. What are you trying to protect, and who is covered by this policy? This section provides context for the policy. 2. Roles and responsibilities. Clearly outline the roles and responsibilities of individuals within the organization. Who is responsible for implementing security measures? Who should be contacted in case of a security incident? 3. Acceptable use policy. Define what constitutes acceptable use of organizational resources, including internet usage, email, and mobile devices. This helps prevent misuse and sets expectations for behavior. 4. Data classification. Establish a data classification system that categorizes data based on its sensitivity and the required protection level. This helps ensure that sensitive data is handled appropriately. 5. Security measures. Detail the security measures that will be implemented to protect data, such as firewalls, encryption, access controls, and regular software updates. 6. Incident response plan. Outline the steps to be taken in the event of a security incident. This should include identification, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. 7. Training and awareness. Include provisions for regular cybersecurity training and awareness programs to educate employees on security practices and the importance of their role in maintaining security. 8. Policy review and updates establish a schedule for regularly reviewing and updating the policy to ensure it remains relevant and effective as technology and threats evolve. Lesson 5.3 Developing your cybersecurity policy. Now that we've covered the key components, let's talk about how to develop your cybersecurity policy step by step. Step 1. Assess your current security posture. Begin by evaluating your current security practices. Identify strengths and weaknesses in your existing measures and determine what additional protections may be necessary. Step 2. Identify risks and threats. Conduct a risk assessment to identify potential threats and vulnerabilities specific to your organization. Consider both internal and external factors that could compromise security. Step 3. Define your policy goals based on your assessment. Define clear goals for your cybersecurity policy. What are you trying to achieve? This will guide the development of your policy. Step 4. Draft the policy using the key components we discussed earlier. Draft your cybersecurity policy. Make sure it is clear, concise, and easily understood by all employees or users. Step 5. Review and revise. Share the draft with key stakeholders for feedback. Incorporate their suggestions and ensure that the policy aligns with organizational objectives and legal requirements. Step 6. Implement the policy. Once finalized, communicate the policy to all employees and ensure they understand its importance and their responsibilities. Provide training sessions to familiarize everyone with the policy. Step 7. Monitor and update. Regularly monitor the effectiveness of your policy and make updates as necessary. Technology and threats evolve, and your policy should adapt accordingly. Lesson 5.4 Example cybersecurity policy. To give you a practical perspective, let's take a look at a sample cybersecurity policy. Sample policy overview. Purpose: to protect sensitive information and ensure the integrity of our systems. Scope: applies to all employees, contractors, and third-party vendors. Acceptable use: guidelines for the use of organizational resources. Data classification: categories of data sensitivity and required handling. Security measures: overview of firewalls, encryption, and antivirus protocols. Incident response: steps to follow in case of a breach. Training: regular cybersecurity training sessions for all employees. This example illustrates how the components we discussed come together in a cohesive policy. You can tailor it to fit your specific organization or personal needs. Module conclusion. That wraps up Module 5, Creating a Cybersecurity Policy. Let's quickly recap what we covered. 1. Importance of a cybersecurity policy: establishing security standards, reducing risks, ensuring compliance, promoting a security culture, and facilitating incident response. 2. Key components: purpose and scope, roles and responsibilities, acceptable use policy, data classification, security measures, incident response plan, training, and policy review. 3. Steps to develop a policy: assess current security posture, identify risks, define goals, draft the policy, review and revise, implement the policy, and monitor and update it. 4. Example cybersecurity policy, provided a practical overview of a sample policy. In the next module, we'll focus on cybersecurity in everyday life, discussing how to apply what you've learned to protect your personal data and digital presence. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in Module 6. Module 6, Cybersecurity in Everyday Life. Welcome to Module 6 of our Cybersecurity for Beginners course. In this module, we'll explore how you can apply the principles of cybersecurity in your everyday life to protect your personal information and digital presence. Cybersecurity isn't just about protecting corporate networks or organizational data, it's also about safeguarding your personal data from various threats online. By the end of this module, you'll have practical tools and strategies to enhance your cybersecurity posture in your daily activities. Let's dive in. Lesson 6.1 Understanding Personal Cyber Threats. Before we jump into the solutions, it's crucial to understand the various cyber threats that you might encounter in your personal life. Here are some common threats. 1. Phishing attacks. Phishing attacks involve malicious emails that trick you into providing sensitive information, such as passwords or credit card numbers. These emails often appear to come from legitimate sources. 2. Malware. Malware is software designed to harm or exploit devices. It can come in many forms, including viruses, worms, and ransomware, which can lock you out of your files. 3. Identity theft. Identity theft occurs when someone steals your personal information to impersonate you for fraudulent activities, such as opening credit accounts in your name. 4. Social engineering. Social engineering involves manipulating individuals into divulging confidential information. This can happen over the phone, through emails, or even in person. 5. Public Wi-Fi risks. Using public Wi-Fi can expose you to various risks, as hackers can intercept your data on unsecured networks. Understanding these threats is the first step in learning how to protect yourself. Now, let's explore some practical strategies to mitigate these risks. Lesson 6.2 Best Practices for Personal Cybersecurity. Now that we've identified common personal cyber threats, let's discuss some best practices to enhance your cybersecurity at home and online. 1. Use strong, unique passwords. Create strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts. A password manager can help you generate and store complex passwords securely. 2. Enable two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification, such as a text message or authentication app, in addition to your password. 3. Be wary of phishing attempts. Always verify the source of emails or messages before clicking on links or providing sensitive information. Look for signs such as misspellings or unfamiliar email addresses. 4. Regularly update software and devices. Keep your operating systems, applications, and devices updated to protect against known vulnerabilities. Enable automatic updates when possible. 5. Use antivirus and anti-malware software. Install reputable antivirus and anti-malware software to detect and remove threats from your devices. Regularly scan your system for potential issues. 6. Secure your home network. Change the default username and password of your home router and enable WPA3 encryption. Regularly check for unauthorized devices connected to your network. 7. Be cautious on public Wi-Fi. Avoid accessing sensitive information when using public Wi-Fi. If necessary, use a virtual private network, VPN, to encrypt your connection. Lesson 6.3 Social Media Security. Social media is an integral part of our daily lives, but it can also pose significant security risks if not managed properly. Here are some tips for securing your social media accounts. 1. Adjust privacy settings. Review and adjust the privacy settings on your social media accounts. Limit who can see your posts and personal information to friends or trusted connections. 2. Be mindful of what you share. Avoid sharing sensitive information, such as your home address or phone number. Be cautious about sharing your location in real time. 3. Monitor your account activity. Regularly check your account activity for any unauthorized access or suspicious behavior. Enable alerts for logins from unfamiliar devices. 4. Educate yourself about scams. Stay informed about common social media scams and tactics used by cybercriminals. Being aware can help you avoid falling victim to these schemes. Lesson 6.4 Safeguarding your digital devices. Securing your devices is vital in protecting your personal data. Here are some essential practices. 1. Lock your devices. Always use a lock screen on your smartphones, tablets, and laptops. Set up biometric locks, such as fingerprints or facial recognition, for added security. 2. Back up your data. Regularly back up your data to prevent loss in case of a cyber incident. Use cloud storage services or external hard drives for secure backups. 3. Use encryption. Enable encryption on your devices to protect your files and data. This ensures that even if someone accesses your device, they cannot read your data without the encryption key. 4. Be cautious with downloads. Only download apps and software from trusted sources. Review app permissions before installation to avoid granting unnecessary access to your personal information. Lesson 6.5 Responding to cyber incidents. Despite our best efforts, cyber incidents can still occur. Here's how to respond effectively. 1. Stay calm. If you suspect a breach, remain calm and don't panic. Take a moment to assess the situation. 2. Disconnect from the internet if you believe your device has been compromised. Disconnect it from the internet to prevent further damage. 3. Change passwords. Change the passwords for affected accounts immediately. Use strong and unique passwords to enhance security. 4. Report the incident. Report the incident to your email provider, social media platform, or relevant authorities. This can help mitigate damage and prevent further attacks. 5. Seek professional help. If you're unsure how to handle the incident, consider seeking professional help from cybersecurity experts to assist in recovery. Module conclusion. That concludes Module 6, Cybersecurity in Everyday Life. Let's recap what we covered. 1. Understanding personal cyber threats, phishing, malware, identity theft, social engineering, and public Wi-Fi risks. 2. Best practices for personal cybersecurity, using strong passwords, enabling 2FA, being wary of phishing attempts, updating software, using antivirus software, securing home networks, and being cautious on public Wi-Fi. 3. Social media security, adjusting privacy settings, being mindful of what you share, monitoring account activity, and educating yourself about scams. 4. Safeguarding digital devices, locking devices, backing up data, using encryption, and being cautious with downloads. 5. Responding to cyber incidents, staying calm, disconnecting from the internet, changing passwords, reporting incidents, and seeking professional help. In the next module, we'll explore the future of cybersecurity, discussing emerging trends, technologies, and how you can stay ahead of evolving threats. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you. Congratulations! You've made it to the conclusion of the Cybersecurity for Beginners course. Throughout this journey, you've gained valuable insights into the world of cybersecurity, learned about various threats, and discovered practical strategies to protect yourself and your digital assets. In this final segment, we will recap the key concepts covered in the course and discuss what you can do next to further your knowledge and skills in cybersecurity. Recap of key concepts. Let's take a moment to revisit some of the essential topics we explored together. 1. Introduction to cybersecurity. 2. Types of cyber threats. 3. Protecting your personal data. 4. Understanding the cybersecurity framework. 5. Cybersecurity in everyday life. You learned what cybersecurity is and why it's crucial in today's digital landscape. We discussed various threats, including malware, phishing, identity theft, and social engineering. You discovered practical tips for securing your personal information and devices, such as using strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and being cautious online. We examined frameworks that help organizations manage cybersecurity risks effectively. We focused on applying cybersecurity principles in your daily routines, including social media security and responding to cyber incidents. Each of these elements contributes to a comprehensive understanding of cybersecurity and empowers you to make informed decisions about your online safety. What's next? Now that you've completed this course, you may be wondering, what's next? Here are some recommendations for continuing your cybersecurity journey. 1. Explore advanced courses. Consider enrolling in more advanced cybersecurity courses. Topics such as network security, ethical hacking, and incident response can deepen your understanding and skills. 2. Obtain certifications. Look into obtaining industry-recognized certifications, such as CompTIA Security Plus, Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH, or Certified Information Systems Security Professional, CISP. These certifications can enhance your resume and career opportunities. 3. Stay updated on cybersecurity trends. Cybersecurity is a rapidly evolving field. Stay informed about the latest threats and trends by following cybersecurity news, blogs, and podcasts. 4. Join cybersecurity communities. Engage with cybersecurity professionals and enthusiasts by joining online forums, discussion groups, or local meetups. Networking can provide valuable insights and resources. 5. Practice your skills. Consider using platforms that offer hands-on labs and simulations to practice your cybersecurity skills in a controlled environment. Websites like Cybrary, TryHackMe, and Hack the Box can be excellent resources. 6. Apply your knowledge. Finally, apply what you've learned in your everyday life. Implement cybersecurity best practices at home, share your knowledge with family and friends, and become an advocate for online safety. Final thoughts. Thank you for being a part of this Cybersecurity for Beginners course. Your commitment to learning and improving your cybersecurity knowledge is commendable. Remember, cybersecurity is not just a technical skill, it's a mindset that you can cultivate and share with others. If you have any questions or need further resources, feel free to reach out. I wish you the best of luck in your future cybersecurity endeavors. Stay safe and secure online. Until next time.